Hi there BookTube, it's Emma from Emma's Bookish Lifestyle, and today is my December TBR. Now, as you know, generally I don't lock myself into TBRs. I find them quite restrictive, and for the new year I definitely have a cunning plan, which I shall tell you later when I do my December part 1 book haul. Now, I've very gratefully been sent 2 lovely books from Victoria from Eve's Alexandria. Now, we do a book swap every month, and as of next year we will be continuing to do so, and she very kindly sent me 2 books this month. So the first one she brought me was The Mistletoe Murder and Other Stories by P.D. James. Now, I haven't read any P.D. James, strange as that might sound, but I do love myself a crime thriller, and I know I've watched a lot of adaptations of P.D. James on TV. So this is only a slight book, it's 136 pages, but it's Christmassy, so I want to get round to it for the Christmas time period. Another one she sent me is Bernard Cornwell's Fools and Mortals, and I'm really looking forward to this. Again, a new author for me. I haven't read any Bernard Cornwell before. Love historical fiction. Well, I've always loved historical fiction, but I don't know quite why I haven't stumbled across him before. And this is what it says on the back. It says, "I died just after the clock in the passageway struck 9. There are those who claim that Her Majesty Elizabeth, by the grace of God, Queen of England, France and of Ireland, will not allow clocks to strike the hour in her palaces. Time is not allowed to pass for her. She has defeated time. But that clock struck. I remember it. I counted the bells, 9, and I died." I mean, that sounds amazing in and of itself. And then obviously inside there is a more in-depth synopsis. But what I love is the end papers are just exquisite. It's a beautiful hardback, even naked. I mean, it's just black and gold naked. But those end papers they look like they've actually been taken from a vintage text of the Elizabethan period, so I'm really looking forward to this, and I believe it's actually got some quotes at the beginning from one of my favourite Shakespeare plays from a very young age, and I used to absolutely adore A Midsummer Night's Dream and Romeo and Juliet. Now this is I think this quote's Midsummer Night's Dream. They were 2 of my all-time favourites, and I remember going on holiday to Florida and taking those with me. Random scrap of information there, people, but there you go. Also, for the Christmas reading, I have The Snow Sister by Emma Carroll. Now, this is a middle grade book released by Faber and Faber, and this is about a young girl called Pearl, and she's made a person out of snow. And she actually puts her sister's best shawl on there because her sister passed away, I believe. And then there's a mysterious letter which arrives that basically gives her a surprise. So this is a little Christmas tale, which I'm highly looking forward to. And again, only a slight volume, so it won't take me long to read. It's 100 pages. The next book I've got is also an Emma Carroll, and this is Frost Hollow Hall. Now this is a bit more ghostly, and it's got a bit of a historical edge to it. So this is based in 1881 in the winter, and a young girl is ice skating on a frozen lake and falls through, and she is saved, but she is saved by someone she thought was dead, and she needs to know if it's an angel or not. Or a ghost. So I believe after that incident he then asks her for some help, maybe to resolve the issue of his death. So I'm really looking forward to that. I really enjoyed Letters from a Lighthouse that I've read from her earlier in the year. That is a little bit of a more substantial book. That's 362 pages. I was then very kindly sent by John Murray, an imprint of Hatchet, Ghosts of Christmas Past, and this is a collection of short stories from people like Neil Gaiman, Muriel Sparks, Louis de Bernier, Jen Ashworth, and it's edited by Tim Martin. And basically it says on the back, I'm going to read this to you: a present contains a monstrous secret. An uninvited guest haunts a Christmas party. A shadow slips across the floor by firelight. A festive entertainment ends in darkness and screams. Who knows what haunts the night at the dark point of the year? This collection of seasonal chillers looks beneath Christmas cheer to a world of ghosts and horrors, mixing terrifying modern fiction with classic stories by masters of the macabre. Very excited. Very, very excited. I don't usually read a lot of Christmassy books around Christmas time, but I need to get in the Christmassy spirit. I have watched my first Christmas movie as well, people. Yeah, I watched my first Christmas movie on the 1st of December, and yes, I bet you can't guess which one it was. Elf. Crazy film. Crazy film. Anyway, I've hauled this previously, and this is now going to be as part of my December TBR, and this is The Snow Angel by Lauren St. John, and I'm really looking forward to reading this. The cover art, by the way, is illustrated by Catherine Hyde, and I think is absolutely beautiful. And last but not least, before I decided I was going to do December TBR, I did actually put a poll on Twitter, and kindly 3 of my followers voted, and it was 100% you have to read this book of Margaret Atwood's alias Grace. I love this edition. I find this really beautiful. There's something about the sort of sketch and the photo that I really like about this particular imprint of books. This is a Virago cover, and I'm really keen to also watch the adaptation on Netflix. I don't know if that's any good, but I wanted to read the book before I watched the adaptation, the same as I did with The Handmaid's Tale. So again, that's a bit of a chunkster. I think that's about 533 pages long. So I've got 3 quite substantial books and 4 not so much. So if I try and stack them in some kind of logical order. Oh, are you sitting there silently watching me? Apologies. So these are all the books I have in my December TBR. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now that's quite a steep TBR for me, especially as Christmas I do tend to get absorbed with family and friends events, and also over the Christmas period I am transitioning into a new part of my life. So I'm looking forward to reading as many of these as I can, and I will give you a wrap up at the end of December. I hope you're having a lovely time, YouTube, and I know that there are a lot of videos coming out right now for Vlogmas, and I will try and endeavour to watch as many as I possibly can, but I won't be taking part this year. I don't think I've got anywhere near the content that I would like to have. My goals for next year are hopefully to improve on that. I'd like to do more wrap-ups, I'd like to do more reviews, and I'd like to do loose TBRs with the flexibility of adjusting and slipping a book in here and there depending on my mood. I do have quite a strict plan. I was going to take part in Eleanor Reed's Monopoly board, but I rewatched that video, and it's not that it was overcomplicated. I did ask her if I could join her and Janet of Swirly Girly Reads. However, I think what I need to focus on is what I've got on my shelves. So I'm going to go with my gut, and I'm just going to follow what I've got on my bookshelves. And I am going to restrict myself, and until I've got sufficient amount of books read, I'm not going to allow myself to be led by new books, new titles that are coming in. I do have a wish list, which Victoria also has from Eve's Alexandria, so I can always put them on there, and who knows, Victoria might choose them 1 month for me. So that's going to be my enticement. I've got a lot of the ones that Victoria sent me last year that I really want to get to early doors next year because I haven't had a chance this year. And I also want to compile for her a list of all the books that I've sent her so that I can give that to her. She wants to have a look and give me her star ratings for them so I can get an idea of the kind of things she's really liked this year, and hopefully that will help me out with her selections next year. Anyway, I hope you're well, BookTube. I hope you're having a lovely weekend. It's wet and grotty here in Hertfordshire. We haven't really had rain. We haven't really had rain. We haven't really had snow. We've had that sort of rain, sleety snow. So it's just wet and murky out there. But generally, the weather's quite mild, and nothing that a bobble hat and a good old scarf can't fix. So I hope you're all well. Take care for now. Bye.